Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our live this evening. We've got an amazing guest joining us shortly, and tonight we're going to be talking about raising a child with special needs. We're just going to wait for our guest to join us quickly, and as soon as she joins us, we're going to begin. If you have any questions during the session, please feel free to add them to the text box at the bottom, and we will try to see to all your questions as we get along. It's nice to see so many of you guys joining tonight. There we go. We're just going to add our guest on now, and there she is.
Hey, I'm good, thanks, and you?
Oh, thank you. It's so amazing to have you here tonight. For everyone who's just joined, there's been quite a few people who have joined now. Here talking to Andrea, and we're going to be talking about raising a child with special needs. And today's session is brought to you by Pampers Premium Care. So, Andrea, it's amazing to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. And just to get started, tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us about your family as well.
My name's Andrea. I'm 30 years old, proud mom of 2 young boys, a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. My 4-year-old his name's Blake. He has autism, and it's non-verbal autism, which means that he cannot communicate verbally at all.
Okay. Yeah, so you mentioned that you have 2 sons, right? And the youngest is autistic, but also not verbal. He has got a condition. It's called OCD. Can you just give a brief understanding or brief explanation of his term?
So he has sensory processing disorder, which is basically his senses are affected by sound, light, clothing that he wears. We have to cut off his tags off his clothing before he wears it. Sometimes he prefers to wear his clothing upside down. And then he also has OCD, as obsessive compulsive disorder. He has a phobia for dirt. If his clothes are ever dirty or he gets dirt on himself, he has the need to bath. He baths a minimum of 7 times a day. And each time he baths, he needs to have a new set of clothing on. He has to have things color coordinated, even numbers. As young as he is, if he has 12 cars, he needs to have all 12 of those cars. Otherwise, it completely freaks him out if he loses one of them. Yes, it's quite a journey.
I can imagine. So he was diagnosed, Blake was diagnosed at 2 years old, correct? So that has been very to the emotional roller coaster for you. Tell us a little bit more about that, how you felt at that emotions at the end.
At first, it was very difficult because I had no experience with a child with a disability before. My older son is a neurotypical son, and he functioned at normal milestones as he grew. When my son was born, Blake was born premature at 30 weeks. And he weighed 1 kilo. He was the size of a TV remote control. He was really, really tiny. And so I knew that there would be a few setbacks as he grew, but as he got older, like he just didn't speak. He would walk on his tiptoes. He does something that's called skimming, which most autistic children do. He spins in circles for hours and hours and hours. He can just spin in a circle and not get dizzy. And so that's what led me to think and see that there's something not 100% okay. And we struggled in the beginning, but once we moved to from Johannesburg to Cape Town, the autism support community here is really, really great. So we've managed to get a lot more information and help to help him grow and develop as a toddler and young child.
It's about the community, like you said. It's important to have that. What's the difficult thing about autism?
It's definitely having to explain to other people. So autistic children are so unpredictable. Anything can set him off. We can drive in a car and he can freak out, or if we get to a mall and it's too bright in the mall, or the music is too loud, or there's just too many people in the mall, that can set him off. And sometimes people just think that your child is unruly, untrained. I've had a woman once tell me, can you please put a leash on it? Because he just freaked out in the store. So it's very difficult to explain to other people that, you know, he's not a misbehaved child. He just he can have a meltdown at any point, and anything can set it off. So it's very that's been the hardest part, having to explain to other people about his condition, and to complete strangers too as well.
Of course, I mean, sometimes, like you said, we be somewhere with past judgment for us without knowing the full story. And I think that's also in this situation. Until you know the full story, it's a very difficult.
Yes, and it's embarrassing as well. I've been so many occasions. I've been so embarrassed in the store, you know, because I'm trying to pay for something and my kid is freaking out over something else. It's really embarrassing sometimes, but people are understanding on occasions. When you explain to them that there's an underlying condition here, then they do become understanding.
And what helped you get through that initial shock? About the condition.
I'm fortunate enough I have a great support system. I have a lot of good friends that are kind and caring, and they you know, willing to help when I need help. So it's very, very important to have a good support system.
I can imagine so.
That helps.
So, of course. And although Blake can't speak to you, he takes you in other very special ways. Would you mind some of those special ways to us?
Yes, we do have a very, he only does it with me, which is strange. It's very beautiful. So because he likes things to be done in even numbers, I whisper in his ear, I love you, and then I kiss his cheek. And then I got to do it to the other ear. And with his language that he speaks, he will take me and he will whisper in my one ear and then kiss me, and the other ear and then kiss me in my other cheek. And that's his way of saying, I love you, which I think is really, really special.
That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. Think about both your kids now. How did you explain Blake's condition to your eldest?
Pardon me? I didn't hear that.
Thinking about both your kids now, how did you explain Blake's condition to your eldest?
My eldest son, yeah, so there's only a 3-year age gap between the two of them, and I guess when we brought home this very tiny baby, he already knew, you know, just be extra gentle with him. And anybody that knows my oldest son will tell you that he's just such a gentle 7-year-old, and he'll be the one to say he doesn't understand, or he'll explain to other kids, sorry about my brother, he doesn't understand. He's very, very accommodating and patient, which I don't see in many other kids, but he is extremely patient with his younger brother.
So I guess you could say it wasn't very difficult for you to understand, you know, what was happening. So you understood quite early on exactly what was happening, and he's talking about it and explaining to other people. That's very beautiful to see.
Yes, so we do fight. They fight about toys because Blake he just needs all the toys. And so then Zach will get upset, and then we try to explain to him, but he's very accommodating. Eventually he's like, oh, you know what, like, whatever, have all the toys, I don't care anymore. It's not worth the fight.
Of course. And you're a full-time working mom, so how do you juggle that? Work life, mom life?
Grave difficulty. But like I say, I have a great support system, and with the help of their dad and my friends, I get by with juggling work and being mom.
Moms are also, it's just a superpower, so I guess we get by regardless.
Yeah, I have many arms.
So you mentioned earlier the great support system you have, and really, I think the one thing that people would like to know, and I think if you can give people advice to any specific support groups, any online groups that you can maybe suggest, obviously knowing that the other moms are going to be taking you, obviously help you. So are there any support groups that you can into parents?
I strongly advise everybody to join the Western Cape Autism Support Group. Even when I was in Johannesburg, before I moved to Cape Town, I have joined the Western Cape Autism Support Group, and they are just the most amazing people ever. I've had a mom just come over to my house one day to clean my kitchen because she knew that I was struggling with the sleep situation with my son. And we have just little get-togethers with the kids, and it's really online. We've got a great support system, and the Western Cape has a fantastic autism program for just support for parents and support for children in general. I've really been very fortunate to get in the program here.
That's one thing that you wish people knew about children.
Pardon, I didn't hear that last part.
What is the one thing you wish that people knew about children with autism?
I wish that they knew that it's, when it comes to meltdowns, it's not so easy to explain to people why your child is screaming their lungs off in the shopping center. So we tend to avoid certain shops and certain restaurants and that sort of thing. Because it's not something that's discussed as much as other children with disabilities. Sorry, not just special needs. I guess we all just need to just be a bit more educated and mindful of the mom next to you. You never know what the next mom has gone through the night before, or just in that moment.
Absolutely. What advice would you give to moms that possibly have a child that's on the spectrum, or that they suspect that they have a child that's on the spectrum?
There are a few things. So because it's a spectrum, not every kid has the same symptoms or just show the same. Some children just may not speak. Those are signs that set me off to start researching a bit more. Was the spinning, which they call brain stimming. That was a bit strange for me because I've never experienced that, where you can spin in circles and circles and not get working on your tiptoes. The non-verbal eye contact as well. Like he tends not to make any eye contact with you. And just loud noise. If I raise my voice to him, he automatically will just need you to hold his face. So I think just be not hard on yourself when you see the signs, because that's what moms do. But seek help. What's the worst that can happen? They either confirm a diagnosis or you were wrong, and then great.
Of course, that's
and the earlier you catch it, the earlier you catch it, the better, the earlier the intervention, and the better you can make your child's future be.
Of course, definitely. And let's go through the question box because if there's anything, I'm not finding many questions that are just an pouring of people. So there's so many lovely comments on saying super amazing, just saying you lots of hearts and lots of love, lots of support as well. And people are finding this so informative. So we just wanted to say thank you again for that. Obviously, in the spirit of celebrating amazing activity, we would like to give you a 1,000 voucher just because people are just to say thank you so much for being here. And of course, it's such a pleasure. It's such a pleasure. And of course, to everyone who's joined us, as you know, we are always looking for ways to make things easier. So on Friday last week, Magic put out a question on after communications where we to send in the toddler hacks. We want to have to be more. And we selected one such a for a really great hack. We're going to give 1,000 people a voucher as well. And our last this voucher is free fun to market. Congratulations for winning 1,000 voucher. I'm not sure what's happening with everyone because it's amazing. I wish I knew this because this is almost 2 months ago. I think I'm almost outgrown this. In changing time at Rees. So when you're tapping the phone, choose to bundle up a top or one together. So that when you grab, you got everything in one. So thank you so much for amazing. And I think most of moms are.
Would you like to meet him? You said that you'd want to meet him.
Absolutely, we would love to. If you're happy to, we'd love to.
Give me a second. All right, just get him quick.
No problem.
Say hi. This is Blake.
Hi, Blake.
Hi.
It's nice to meet you.
Yay!
It's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. Thumbs up.
I recognize.
So he's singing you Baba Black Sheep with sign language.
Okay.
That's how he speaks. He speaks with sign language.
Amazing. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to meet you.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Once this next purchase will take a lot. Thank you once again for joining us. Amazing chatting and we appreciate you time to express and share your experience. And everyone, thank you. Pampers Premium Care is here to celebrate. Thank you so much once again.